Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Trusteft Retro Weekend. This time we have Predator from 1987. The game loosely based on the movie, the very famous movie of the 80s. It is a side-scrolling shoot-em-up. Lots of action, very hard. To achieve your aims, which is to survive the whole game, you've got several weapons available you can find sometimes. You can drop your current weapon and then just pick the new one, or go back to your old one. You also have 3 grenades, which cannot be replenished as far as I know, and which are quite difficult to use actually. You can also use melee. In fact, you have to use it if you want to, get past of a certain point of the game. I'm not going into details, but if you have watched the film, you know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, I didn't know that I could fight like that, and I never finished the game. Anyway, as for the opponents in the game, you have several types of soldiers, some walking, some running, others are hiding in the bushes or in pillboxes or in houses. Quite difficult actually to hit sometimes. There are also animals, some of which actively attack you, like bats, and some of them just happen to go towards a certain direction and you better avoid them. Cannot be killed. The bats on the other hand can. Of course there is also the Predator. And you know what he is. The graphics in the game are weak by today, of course, or even by 90s standards. But at the time of release in 87, the game was actually quite good looking for an early Atari ST game. Most 2D action games of the time looked much worse. Same could be said about the sound. It is functional. It's that's about it. Music, it's quite good for what it is, which is just a little bit of intro music. The controls of the game are terrible at first. They get worse later on. Then you want to kill the game. Then you get used to them and become passable. But that means several games after you first want to destroy the game. The game is very hard, but it's not impossible to beat. For that also helps that it is quite short game. I think it has 3 or 4 levels. I have definitely reached level 3, but that's about it. The game, I haven't finished the game because at that part I had to use melee to fight my opponent, and I couldn't because I didn't think of using that. And by the time I thought about it, I wasn't good enough at the game to reach the same part of the game. So yeah, I don't know if it is any easier on other platforms, but on the Atari ST it is quite difficult. Overall, a fun, I could say, game, very violent game as you can see. It has its moments, and considering the time it was released, I think it's quite good. Could have been better, but most of the time the games of the time were much worse. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.